Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So today I have some good news and some bad news when it comes to Sullivan v. Ferguson, which is a challenge to Washington State's so-called large capacity magazine ban. So if you want to hear more about it, stay tuned. Copper Jacket TV is proud to be sponsored by the USCCA. If you carry to defend yourself, or you just have something in your home to defend yourself, you need a USCCA membership. If something happens, you call 911, you call the number on the back of that card, and they will get somebody out there to represent you. You are covered with their self-defense liability insurance. They also have online education, training, reciprocity maps, and so much more. So check out the USCCA down below. Okay, so back on July 1st, a new law started in Washington that effectively banned standard capacity magazines. As a matter of fact, it banned magazines that could hold more than 10 rounds. In comes Sullivan v. Ferguson, which is a challenge to that new law. Now, Sullivan v. Ferguson has been going through a lot of changes, and that's because there's always different things that are happening in the very beginning of these cases. There's people that want to be part of it, people that don't want to be part of it. There's people that are trying to get out of the lawsuit, people who are being sued that don't think that they're responsible, and all these things change. So in the very beginning of these types of lawsuits, you're going to see a lot of different things filed. I mean, the paperwork that's filed is going to be daily, and there's probably going to be multiple things that are filed daily, and it's really hard to keep track of things. But the one thing that we have here that I could say is notable is that we actually have a trial date that's set. Now, the trial date is kind of where the bad news comes in, because the trial date for Sullivan v. Ferguson isn't until December 4th of 2023. So it's well over a year until we even have a trial date set. Now, there could be delays, right, that put it well into 2024, which is typically what happens. Different motions are filed and just things get backed up. That's just the way the court systems work. A lot of these things stick around for, nearly a decade. But as of right now, it's set for December 4th of 2023, and that is not good news for the people of Washington who would like to see their rights restored. So you're probably thinking, if that's the bad news, how could there possibly be any good news? We're not going to know any final details on this until at least the end of 2023, possibly 2024. Well, the good news is that we have Duncan V. Bonta. Duncan V. Bonta, which is a challenge to California's high-capacity magazine ban, is under the jurisdiction of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Now, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals covers Washington. So if something happens in Duncan, it would have a direct effect on Washington, and we may have the actual decision in Duncan v. Bonta by this December. So instead of waiting for next December for that trial date, this whole thing has a possibility of being over by this December. Now, currently it's sitting at Judge Roger T. Benitez, or with Judge Roger T. Benitez, who already ruled that it was unconstitutional. Now, California is trying to use a bunch of delay tactics to try and run this out as long as possible. But Judge Benitez, I don't think, is going to be moved by that, and more than likely, he's going to give his decision in that time. Now, more than likely, it's going to end up back at the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has a new way that they have to hear this case based off of the decision from the Supreme Court, the Bruin decision, that says they no longer can use a two-step approach, and so they have to look at text history and tradition only when determining these cases. And so, more than likely, we're going to see a favorable outcome in the Ninth Circuit. If we get that, every single state that's covered within the Ninth Circuit is going to be affected, again, including Washington. Now, just because we have Duncan doesn't mean we need to ignore Sullivan. Sullivan is still a very important case that it tackles a very important topic, and we need to make sure that we still throw all of our support behind that as it moves forward. So if you know of any groups up there that, help support maybe legal funds or help support the organizations that brought these lawsuits forward, then that's still something that I would suggest you do, because even if this gets resolved, there's always going to be a new issue. There's always going to be something that's going to be coming up, and we need to make sure that we have the ability to fight back against them. So again, while it's bad news that the date is so long, it's good news because we still have Duncan, which is pretty much ready to go. So, hey, for those people in Washington, I hope that you guys get to see your freedoms restored soon. And for the people of California, it's been a long time coming. So fingers crossed here in this one. Thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.